Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Candice, a trauma mindset coach on a mission to help you have secure relationships with yourself and with others without anxiety or years in therapy. If that sounds like something you want, please hit that subscribe button now. Okay, so today we're tackling a tough but important question. Why does it seem like avoidants move on so quickly after a breakup? And what I'm highlighting here is the word seem. It seems like they move on. So stay with me, as it's not always what it seems, and it might soothe your little anxious heart just a little bit to hear this. Okay, so if you've ever gone through a breakup with an avoidant, you've probably already, be asking yourself, was I not important to them? Did they even care? Did they even love me? Why am I struggling to let go when they seem to be fine? And I know how painful this feels. I have totally been there. I get it. And it's frustrating because you're thriving in so many areas of your life, and you know you're a catch. When you're single, you know you're a catch. You know you're a catch. But when it comes to relationships, this part feels completely out of alignment for you. And I want to break down what is going on here so you stop blaming yourself and start healing instead. So, why does it seem like avoidants move on so quickly? Number one, they suppress their emotions. They avoid their emotions. They're avoidants. They avoid their emotions. Avoidants don't process emotions the same way that you do. Their coping mechanism is to shut down and push it away and avoid vulnerability. They might seem fine, but that doesn't mean they're not hurting. Suppression doesn't erase emotions, it just delays it. That's all. They've just got good at pushing it down because they have done it since childhood. So, again, it doesn't erase what they're really feeling, it just delays it and pushes it down for the time being. So, if you're looking at their social media, stalking them still, I see you thinking, wow, they really didn't care. Look how flipping happy they look. They're having the time of their lives. They look so thrilled. Then know that what you're seeing isn't necessarily reality, and they are never going to share that on their social media, how they're really feeling. They're going to avoid it and they're going to put that mask up. Okay, so number two is they use distractions to cope. So, work, hobbies, the gym, even jumping into another relationship, it becomes a way to stay in control and avoid their emotional overwhelm. So, if you see them out smiling in photos, posting like nothing happened, um, don't take this at face value. It's not that they didn't care, it's just their attachment system kicking in. Even if you see them what seems like they've jumped into another relationship and they're so happy and everything's great, this is likely just a distraction to help them kind of process the relationship, not process it, but deal with it, with all of those emotions that they actually had for the relationship, because they actually feel really, really strongly. So I know that that can be really difficult for you to understand as an anxious attachment style, to see the way that they're dealing with it, but the actual fact is that they have to deal with it because they're actually feeling all of these emotions. So they have to distract themselves because they're feeling all these emotions. They have to shut it down and pretend because they're feeling all these emotions. Okay. And the third one is they feel relief at first. For avoidance, independence is their comfort zone. So it's their safe place. So at first, breaking up might feel like a relief. At first, it removes the perceived threat of emotional intimacy. So their nervous system, starts to feel soothed. They feel better for the time being. But here's what most people don't realize, that relief doesn't last. Eventually, when distractions wear off, the emotions they suppress will come back. And of course they missed you, of course they loved you, of course they all wanted a future with you. All of those things are true. So it's just that they went into a panic, and a perceived threat, and so they reacted that way. But when once that threat is gone, it will allow them to start missing you again and start, seeing all the good times and seeing those things because they're no longer in survival mode. um so just because they detach quickly doesn't, or what they seem like detaches quickly, it doesn't mean they never cared. And I know that can be hard to think about, but um they do. They do care. They do care. So avoidants do feel deeply. They just process emotions differently. While you have an anxious attachment style might need connection or closure, they cope by shutting down and avoiding. Their actions are a reflection of their attachment style, not your worth. And I know it can be hard. I know you're thinking, but do they really care about me? I get it. But please don't doubt the relationship. Please don't doubt what you meant to them. Please don't doubt how they felt about you. Trust how they felt about you was real. Trust the relationship was real. Don't discard it based on their coping mechanism now. And I know that's really difficult, but that's hurting you more by that. It's making it harder for you to move on. And I get that. So if you are struggling to move on, here is why. Because here's the thing, even though you understand this, it doesn't necessarily make it hurt less. I get that completely. But understanding it does help take the focus away from blaming yourself, which you can do as an anxious attachment style. And right now, you might be feeling really devalued, questioning if you ever mattered. You might be overthinking, replaying every moment of the relationship, wondering if was this real? Did they really mean it? And maybe towards the end, how things went. You'll be replaying all of those things. Your brain will be looking for like clues of like what's happened there, and I get that. And then you'll probably have difficulty letting go, and their detachment makes it really harder for you to move forward, because, and it probably feels more painful for an anxious attachment style because it will be triggering your core abandonment and rejection wounds, and it's seeping into the beliefs of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of them coming back to fight for me. I'm not worthy of them trying to work it out. I'm not worthy of them checking in on me. I'm not enough for them. I wasn't enough for them. It will be bringing up those things. I promise you, it's not about that. So please, 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 please be kind to yourself. Um, and I understand, I get it. I've been there as an anxious attachment style and I experienced this dynamic many times. And that's exactly why I do this work, to help you stop internalizing someone else's emotional patterns as proof of your worth. So let's look at how to shift your focus and heal. Number one, accept their coping style. Their emotional detachment isn't about you. Repeat this to yourself. Their quick detachment reflects their coping style, not my worth. And the more you understand anxious and avoidant dynamics, the less likely you are to blame yourself. That's why I create this content. So make sure you subscribe for more, because there is going to be so much more. And focus, number two, focus on your healing. Suppressing emotions like an avoidant doesn't work. So let yourself feel. In my opinion, emotions don't just disappear. Feeling them is what allows them to pass. So I'm always a fan of feeling your emotions, because they will pass a lot quicker and a lot less destructive than if you push them down and then they come back up when you don't want them. So ways that you can do this: journaling is my best friend and was my best friend when I was going through these things. Get all of that out. Cry if you need to. Stay in bed all day and cry if you need to. It's okay. Don't feel guilty about that. I've done it many times. Talk to a trusted friend about how you feel. Consider working with a coach or therapist. These are ways for you to move through this. And then the third thing is, stop comparing your healing to theirs. Just because they seem fine doesn't mean they're actually healed. And like we said, it will likely catch up on them a lot later. So if you catch yourself spiraling into comparison mode, try this. Pause, take 3 deep breaths, and bring your focus back to you. And do that as much as you can, because you need to put it back on you. And your mind will be telling you something else, like focusing on them, they didn't care. But that's where you need to change it, because that is hurting you. It's self-harm. And then, number 4 is invest in yourself. This is your time to shift the focus back to you. What are your passions? What excites you? Where can you pour your energy in? Where was you pouring your energy in before this relationship? This needs to stay. And when you shift your attention inward rather than obsessing over them, everything changes. Healing takes time, and that's okay. Healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about growing from it. And here's the truth: just because they see over it doesn't mean they are. And just because you're still hurting doesn't mean you'll always feel this way. You're healing, you are growing, and that is what matters. And I promise things will get better. And if you're ready to take back your power, and if this resonated with you, you are not alone. I have worked with so many people who've been in your shoes, and I know how transformative this work can be, life changing. So, if you're ready to break the cycle of anxious attachment style and move to a secure attachment style, you're going to want to watch my free masterclass, Stop Sabotaging Relationships with Anxiety. I will leave the link below. In this free training, I'll show you how your anxiety is keeping you stuck and what to do instead. So, drop a comment. What's one thing you're going to do today to focus on you and your healing, not them, you? And if this helped you, please like it so that others can find it. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And until next time, take care of yourself. You are worth it.